That's the WBZ TV channel for Boston, and it's time now for the news at noon with Jack Chase. Tuesday, February 24th, 1953. Here now, Jack Chase. Quarter boy on. Jack Chase news. What's happening here? In Newton, the Garden City forgot all about George Washington. His birthday for a few hours today and yesterday, and it put its smiles and holiday best in his welcome its own Tenley Albright, the 17-year-old women's figure skating champion of the world. A parade and a civic reception at Newton High School topped a beautiful reception program in which thousands of residents joined in honoring the first American ever to win the women's world title. Tenley hadn't slept during the overnight plane hop from Paris, but her freshness and charm delighted her at the gatherings at the airport and at high school, along the crowds along the short parade route. The plane carrying Tenley and her parents, Dr. and Mrs. Hall Albright of 167 Delhi Road, landed at Logan International Airport about 7:20 a.m. and around 20 minutes early because snowflakes had forced it to forego a scheduled stop at Camden, Newfoundland. Mayor Theodore R. Lockwood headed the reception committee there. Other members included Police Chief Phil Purcell, Safety Officer Charles E. Feely, Stuart Spalding, President of Newton Junior Chamber of Commerce, and Harold Golding, the President of the Skating Club of Boston. Tenley was given a huge bouquet of American Beauty roses and her modern orchid corsage. Boston Metropolitan and Newton Police escorted the party from the airport. Fire engines at the curbs in Newton Corner shrieked a welcome with their sirens at the motorcade in Tenley's own city. A new series of 4-year scholarships for undergraduate students in technology in Alley Fields were announced last night by the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation and heads of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Carnegie Institute of Technology, Cornell University, College of Engineering, and the California Institute of Technology. The program will be administered by the 4 institutions, and scholarship winners will receive awards ranging from $200 a year for those not in need of a financial assistance up to $2,000. In addition, $650 and so will be given to each institution for each Sloan National Scholarship. Recipients will be selected on a national basis for applications received by all 4 schools. In announcing the scholarships, Alfred P. Sloan, Jr., President of the Foundation and Board Chairman of General Motors Corporation, said, "It is our purpose to find these and give it on each of these 4 campuses outstanding and representatives of American youth, regardless of their economic background, who show their exceptional activities of scientific promise and capacity for leadership. We are so anxious to find so-called rich boy as a poor boy, and as man, and that is important." Lynn, a light truck shot off the road atop Pine Hill last night and was plummeting toward the rocky valley about 100 feet below when it snagged a tree. A third in the way down. The driver, Robert Doherty, 21 of 18 Ontario Street, was removed from the truck by firemen as he lay dazed inside the cabin of his vehicle, which hung upside down in its nestling place. Doherty, who bore no outward marked injury, were taken to Lynn Hospital, where he was held overnight for examination and x-rays. All the public and private agencies in Greater Boston concerned with the teenage gang and racial incidents were asked yesterday to help form a new United Front organization to tackle the problem. The invitation to nearly 50 groups to band together was issued by Fred B. Taylor of Lincoln, Chairman of the United Community Services Division on Recreation. He asked them to send representatives in an organizational meeting at 8 p.m. March 10th at the offices of the Boston School Committee. The plan, his letter said, already has been widely discussed informally and has met with universal approval of pledges of support. A compelling reason for the organization to integrate their efforts, he said, is increase in frequency and severity of teenage vandalism and gang activities and interracial group incidents around Boston. Taylor has been the chairman of the group of agency representatives which met first with the Boston School Committee is explored the situation. He said yesterday that the school committee has unofficially endorsed the idea behind the meeting scheduled for March the 10th. Captain Ben Fine, internationally known racing skipper, died today in yesterday's home after a long illness in Gloucester. He was 69 years old. The fame, Martyr, a friend of presidents, millionaires, and humble fishermen were alike were the pride of the Gloucester waterfront for nearly 2 decades until ill health ended his racing career back in 1938. The dramatic disputed International Fisherman's Cup races between Pine and the Canadian champions Captain Angus Walters raided headlines for many years. Pine lasted a famed sailing, fishing, schooners, shippers, and skippers owned such international found vessels such as the Columbia, the Gertrude L. Thiebaud, the Yankee, Pilgrim, Puritan, and Raymond. The people of Massachusetts from all walks of life honored their civilian executives and their wives yesterday at the 69th Washington Birthdays reception in Memorial Hall. at the State House. Governor and Mrs. Herter and Lieutenant Governor and Mrs. Summer G. Whittier greeted the state's military, judicial, and legislative officers and men, women, and children from small and large communities at a ceremony less than 4 hours and 13 minutes. Here, official candidates represented that 6,085 persons shook the hands at a salute of the two couples as they stood on the oriental rug in the beautiful round hall, which the Commonwealth exhibits its own battle flags of 4 wars. The number was passed from Joy Hall across Memorial Hall and out to the main staircase was by no means a record, but there was just as many as would appear to be possible to cover the whip single file in the elapsed time. Governor Dever was greeted by an estimated 6,731 persons at his first research, but his tabulators reported increase in numbers the next 3 years, with an almost record of 11,316 visitors in 1952. The record is 11,345 set in 1936 by Governor Curley. United Nations New York, former Senator Henry Cavalage Jr. today will begin his first real test as American ambassador to the United Nations. He will be heading the American delegation in the General Assembly, which resumes its session to discuss many important matters, particularly Korea. That the test of large as an our foreign policy will be severe is more than likely, but there is little indication last night that they just what the form will take. As President of the General Assembly, Canadian Foreign Minister Lester Pearson will open a short session at 3 p.m. with a short speech and take note of the fact that the Chinese and North Korean communists have turned down an Indian resolution for a Korean truce, which was passed last December 3 and December 24th to 5 from 34 to 5, with the United States voted in affirmative. What will happen next, no one knows. It is known that representatives of nations with troops in Korea who met with Ambassador Lodge last week came to no conclusion here. Washington, Robert L. Johnson, president of Temple University of Philadelphia, accepted last night the director of the Voice of America and of the State Department Information Services was learned that of a talk with President Eisenhower in the White House. An informed source said Johnson's decision made after the day of discussion with Secretary of State John Foster Dulles and other department officials will be officially announced today. Johnson said that it will resume the duties in a week or 10 days. The directorship fell vacant last week upon the resignation of Dr. Will Compton, a former president of Washington State College, and was said at the time that the resignation had nothing to do with the investigation of the program now being conducted by the Senate Permanent Investigation Subcommittee headed by Senators McCarthy, representing Wisconsin. Tokyo. A United Nations tank and infantry raiding party was ambushed on the Western Front last night, but fought its way clear today after being pinned down for more than 4 hours by murderous crossfires. Survivors about 100 Reds were killed or wounded. This action took place southeast of Parmesan near Bunker Hill. 8th Army headquarters disclosed that the hit-and-run tank and infantry raid was trapped by about 160 Reds and managed to pull out only after the 2 Allied tanks that had been knocked down. Washington. The Agriculture Department has considered an emergency beef purchase program for the school lunch program and is trying to develop more foreign plus the United States Farm Commodities was disclosed yesterday. The 2 win steps to strengthen domestic farm prices were announced by John H. Davis, a new chief of Commodity Credit Corporation, told senators that he has not decided whether the Ulterior Motors printed the sale of 28 million bushels of government corn just before the November elections. Other developers, aides of Agriculture Secretary Ezra T. Benson moved to the east some of the congressional criticism surrounding Benson's first month in the office, but they expected a new flurry when Benson announced better prices support levels, possibly tomorrow. West Wark, Rhode Island. The shotgun user slave Rector Copeland M. O'Brien here a few hours before he was to be quizzed in the FBI, and the Boston Brinks robbery has been found in the nearby Dumbersville yesterday. The FBI Criminal Investigation Laboratory in Washington State reported yesterday that an indication of a rusted 16-gauge shotgun found in the dump adjoining Coventry a few weeks ago was a murder weapon. O'Brien was slain outside his home here last May 17th, shortly after being named one of the brains of a $1.219 million cash holdup of January 17, 1950, he was named by Albert Gagnon, resurrected and Jewel, now in state prison here for jewel robbery. The weapon was found by a resident of the Coventry and immediately turned over to authorities. The dump is located off of Providence, New York Road, a short distance from O'Brien's home. Investigators declined comment on the find, but Attorney General William E. Parse did say West Walk and State Police have relented a continuing search for information on the O'Brien slaying. I don't think that what works should be hampered by premature reports of the progress. Parse didn't elaborate on what they meant by reports that progress. It was revealed that the shotgun was loaded when it found. This was attributed by police as an indication that the slayer reloaded after killing O'Brien in the readiness to shoot again. That killer felled O'Brien with the 2 blasts from the double-barreled weapon. The FBI authorities declined comment on whether any fingerprints were found on parts inside of the weapon, but it was revealed that the protective parts of the weapon were untouched by rust. O'Brien, one-time runner of Ram and Compton, and at least at the 60 witnesses before recent Brinks Grand Jury in Boston. Fronted it as the nightclub operator, Billy said, but back in the 80s, Prohibition, he was known as a ruthless advice racer and a prominent member of the Pawtucket's infamous Chitney Gang. He and his Boston Covenant was sought by hijack murder in Attleboro back in the running days, but were never convicted of any crime. Washington, the Senate House and Foreign Affairs Committee were began consideration yesterday and today President Eisenhower's draft resolution rejecting Russia's violation of World War II agreements. The resolution proclaims that the hope was people subjugated by Moscow would be freed. Democrats appeared by lining up in solid support of the declaration will. Some influential Republicans continue to be criticized for being too soft toward the actual agreements. Despite the signs of a split between the president and some of the leading supporters in Congress, observers felt that the resolution would go faster both houses without major changes. The administration was understood to be firmly opposed to the meeting demands for outright representation in Yalta and Potsdam agreement signed by the late President Roosevelt and former President Truman. Haverhill. Two Mifflin young men survived the Korea War together were driving home from a dance yesterday when their car crashed and one of them were killed. Harold Kazinjian, 24, of 528 Merrimack Street, was injured fatally when cap bladed from the machine at a door flew open after the auto hit a purple on River Street. Portland, Maine. 4 members of the Beverly, Massachusetts Flying Club escaped serious injury when their light plane overshot the runway at Municipal Airport and plunged down a 50-foot embankment at 11:15 this morning. And yesterday morning, the plane was only one of 10 which flew from Beverly for a holiday breakfast party. The Civil and Audit Administration defined the four as Joseph Mantini, 30, of Revere, the pilot, his brother John, 35, of Revere, Richard Barnett, 20, of Gloucester, and Mary Luday, 19, of Gloucester. Washington Chairman Jesse Walcott of the House Banking Committee predicted yesterday that Congress would be let federal rent controls die April 30th, except in the critical defense areas. When officials in the would mean an end to rent seals in Boston, Chicago, Philadelphia, Cleveland, and perhaps as many as 59 of our communities not related is critical. In Massachusetts, Governor Herter is expected to send a special message to the legislature this week recommending towns and cities to be empowered to set up their own rent control machinery when federal rent curbs expire. Washington President has now told Congress that his parent change of signals yesterday that he wants to keep an economic advisory council after all. The chief executive asked the Senate to provide funds to keep the council alive just a week after the House Appropriations Committee voted to knock out all but $25,000 to the former President Truman's workers for $75,000 to keep the 3-man council in existence. Okay, on to the weather now, Duncan. Thank you, Jack, and good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Right now, current conditions at 12 noon, temperature it's 50 degrees, with a dew point about 23 degrees, humidity 35%, around 30 degrees, and visibility about 50 miles per hour, barometer 30 inches, winds west about 20 in conditions, clear skies. Around the region, it is 50 degrees at temperature now in Beverly and out in Norwood, 49 in Bedford and Lawrence, 45 in Fitchburg and Worcester, 50 in Norwood, 46 in Taunton and Plymouth and New Bedford, and 46 and 46 out in Martha's Vineyard, 45 in Nantucket, 49 in Providence, 52 in Hartford, 47 in New Haven, 50 in Springfield, 45 in Pittsfield, 48 in Albany, 51 in New York City, 47 in Nashua, Manchester, and Pottsville, New Hampshire, 46 in Concord, New Hampshire, 44 out in Portland, Maine, 37 in Augusta, Maine, 38 in Bangor, Maine, 39 in Montpelier, Vermont, and 38 out in Burlington, Vermont. Okay, let's take a look at our weather bureau forecast. Rain will be due today in the central Mississippi Valley to the 7 states from Florida and westward to Arizona, while snow will fall in the northern and central Rockies. Snow will also be due in the northern part of North Dakota eastward to northern Michigan near. With a mixture of rain and snow expected in the central plains, the weather will be fair elsewhere with a warmer trend in the nation's eastern third and colder in the Dakotas and central plains. Here, so our forecast Boston today will go like this. Tuesday, sunny and warmer, highs temperature in the middle to upper 40s. Fair, not so cold tonight, lows in the 30s. Wednesday, cloudy, mild, likely with some rain. Moderate westerly winds becoming brisk southwesterly tonight from Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island. Tuesday, sunny and warmer, fair, not so cold at night. Wednesday, cloudy, mild with rain likely. Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, fair and warmer Tuesday. Wednesday, cloudy with a little change in temperature and followed by snow or rain. Eastport to Block Island. Tuesday, moderate west to southwest winds becoming southwesterly about 20 to 30 miles per hour at night. Fair with good visibility. Sunrise. Sunset up at about 5:28. Labor Day, 10 hours 39 minutes. High tide 6:43 p.m. And turn on headlines about 6:58 p.m. Full moon February 28th at 1:57 p.m. Last quarter moon March 8th at 1:26 p.m. New moon March 15th 6:05 a.m. and first quarter March 22nd, 3:10 a.m. I'm done. Kent, that's your forecast for now. And next we have the news at noon on this February 24th, 1953 on Tuesday. I'm Jeff Chasen. So long and make a good day. This is WBZ TV Channel 4 Boston. Coming in next will be the Ball Memories Show.